Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. And we are at the end. We're at the end of Saito's route, so yay! Obviously, we have high love, so we should be getting the good ending, but it's still scary because I thought I'm like, he's gonna die, and I totally forgot he had the water of life, and he took it, and now he's a fury, and that makes me sad, but anyway. We're in the final chapter, so I don't know if this is the last part. For this, obviously we're still going to do the other endings, so maybe, I don't know, we'll see. 1 to 2 parts left? I don't know. This chapter could be like 2 hours long, and we have 3 parts left. We'll figure it out. But we're getting close to the end, so. Sometime later, we finally arrived at Osaka Castle. As long as we were at the castle, we weren't likely to run into enemy patrols, and for that I was grateful. Saito, how are you feeling? What do you mean? Well, I realized suddenly that I couldn't talk about the Furies openly with so many people around. Instead, I simply mumbled, at a loss for words. He must have guessed what I was getting at, and for a second or two before... He must have guessed what I was getting at, and whatever for a second or two before responding. See what I'm saying? Like, Tim sucks at this. At the moment, I feel fine. Really? But Heisuke and Sanan said that it was hard for them to be up during the day. My condition is none of your concern. Yes, it is! Those words pierced my heart. Well, I mean, I could understand his coldness. But the water of life, the thing that would now change his entire life, was because of my father. And I love you, motherfucker! My condition's none of your concern. Bitch. These men seem excited. Are they anxious for war? I wonder... The atmosphere in the castle was certainly restless, even as I watched wounded soldiers being carried in. Hey, is that you, Saito? That voice! I have no idea who it's supposed to be. It is you! Damn, you're alive! Not exactly a warm welcome there, Shinpachi. Nagakura, Harada, you're both safe. Damn right we are. You really think that bunch of chumps is enough to take me down? And look at this! Not even a scratch on you, Saito. Just what did you expect? Just what did you expect from a master swordsman, huh? Saito's mouth thinned, but he said nothing. There was no way Nagakura could have known the true reason for Saito's apparent good health. For a man like Saito, someone with absolute faith in his sword and his skill, to admit weakness and reach for the water of life, I can only imagine how torturous it must have been. Captain Saito, Yukimura, you're safe! Oh, I have no idea who it is. Oh, what a relief. I don't know, they don't tell you who it is, and you're like, I don't know who it is. I've been looking all over the castle for you. It's good to see you made it back in one piece. Hey, it's bad luck to say that. Oh, that was Shinpachi, not him. Anyway. Come on, Kai. She had Saito with her. Do you really think she wouldn't make it back? Right, of course. I'm still glad to see them, though. He quickly scrubbed tears from his eyes with a fist and smiled at us. That's adorable. He was like a big teddy bear. Oh, what happened to Yamazaki and Inoue? Oh no! Were they hurt? Harada spoke up, but his voice was strained. Oh god. Yamazaki was hurt pretty bad by a gunshot. Masumoto's taking care of him at the moment, but he's got a bad fever and he's stuck in bed for now. To be honest, we don't know if he'll make it. Oh no. What about Inoue? He's alright, isn't he? Oh god, he's dead. I felt my stomach clench with dread. Inoue had to be alright. He had to. They were supposed to laugh it off, to smile and reassure me and say that Inoue was fine, but they didn't. It was Nagakura who finally spoke. Gen's dead. He was shot. Probably died almost instantly. No! My throat tightened and I could feel tears rising to my eyes. We would so be dead if we had stayed. Aww. I know so. Samurai never goes back on his word, no matter what happens. Nagakura and Shimada knew that when they volunteered for this mission. That sort of honor is a rare thing these days, but they have it. So does Saito. Samurai, no, a man, would never do anything to make a girl sad, and those men are true samurai. Trust them to make it back to you. You don't need to worry about them. But I needed to worry about you! In a way, I thought a samurai would never do anything to make a girl sad. So why did you die? I knew he was like our grandpa, right? I swallowed and my throat stung. It was horrible enough to think of the pain he'd suffered from his bullet wound, but even worse was the despair he must have felt as he realized his life was coming to an end. He probably didn't. He had no clue. He was like, ow! Oh, I'm dead? He was like, oh man, that hurt. Oh, I'm dead. Wow. We need to get back to the rest of the guys. All the survivors should have gathered by now. Right, okay. I wiped my tears away and followed. Saito, Yukimura. Good to see you're alive. I apologize for worrying you, Commander. This is all the survivors, then? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Alright, get ready for a hopeless tactics meeting. Hopeless? I remember how optimism felt. You better hold on to that feeling. It isn't gonna last much longer. Shut it, Shinpachi. Shinpachi. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Shinpachi. I don't know why I want to keep giving, like, the tip wrong and I don't know why. What? Wait. What do you mean? No point hiding it, I guess. Shogunate's in a bad place this time. Huh? Saito had told me that Shogunate forces numbered nearly 15,000 men, and that the Satsuma Choshu and their allies commanded at most 5,000. Even I knew 3 to 1 was good odds, so how would the Shogunate ended up in trouble? Uh-huh. Well, I mean, they had cannons and gunfire is all I'm saying. I mean, you bring a knife to a gunfight. You bring a butter knife to a cannon fight, I'm gonna guess you're gonna lose. I'm just saying. Lost a lot of men against the Choshu and Satsuma. And most of our allies refused to send us more men. Gave some bullshit about staying neutral. Even the Owari, the family domain, are twiddling their thumbs and claiming neutrality. How the hell can you say you're neutral when there's a war going on? At least have the balls just come out and say you'd rather watch the Shogunate eat dirt. 3 houses of the Tokugawa comprised one of the most prestigious domains in Japan. Many previous shoguns were alumni of this group. To think such domain betrayed the Shogunate. Did we really lose that many men? Bastards got some sort of vicious new gun. Got a longer range than anything we've seen before, and it fires so damn fast we can't charge in while they're reloading. Cut our guys down like grass. Guess swords don't have a place in war anymore. Yeah, not really. Not really. Wait till the atomic bomb. Oops! I mean, I'm just saying. That was... Yeah, and then you gotta worry about Godzilla. And that's just, I mean... Yeah. Sorry. America's kind of a bunch of assholes. Should be glad you're only dealing with your internal conflict right about now. Because we're dicks! Just saying. Big dicks. It's like a dick measuring contest in war. And we're like, we're gonna be the bigger dick. But you know what? That's not, I don't think that's really what we're, I mean... Saito looked down and said nothing. He built his life around the sword, and now, just like that, it meant nothing. It gets worse. Our enemies are armed with silver bullets. Silver? A precious metal. It somehow counteracts the healing powers of the Furies. Because they're like fucking werewolves. They're like vampires, werewolves, zombies. Silver bullets? Why? It's a way to counter the Fury Core. Someone on the other side knows a lot about Furies. Probably more than we do. It's my fucking father. A Fury can heal from nearly any injury, but silver bullets seem to somehow negate that. Our advantage comes from our ability to recover quickly as much from our superhuman strength. Without our speedy healing, we're a little different from a normal human. We didn't anticipate the silver bullets. Lost most of the Fury Core in the last battle. We're not sure what to do next. That was when Saito finally spoke. Commander, there's something I need to tell you. What? Saito looked straight into the commander's eyes and spoke in a calm, level voice. I drank the water of life. I'm now a Fury. What? Every face in the room turned to Saito, shocked. Why the hell did you do that? I had no choice, but I do not regret my decision. Hijikata was silent for several moments. You too, huh? That was all he said. You've made an excellent decision, Saito. Welcome to the fold. Okay, stop being crazy. Done catching up? Good. Get your stuff together. Looks like we're being put on a boat for Ito. What? Wait, that's me. What? Why Ito? We're not going to hold the castle with Lord Yoshinobu here? Your faces fell when I spoke. Was that me that was saying that? I don't know. Our supreme commander, in his infinite wisdom, has abandoned his men and left them to fight and die on his behalf. He ran back to Ito a while ago. Just about lost my shit when we heard about that. I mean, come on, have you ever heard of a war? Where the guy who started it runs away as soon as people start fighting? Sure makes our future an exciting place, though, doesn't it? Oh, no. Inoue had died, and Yamazaki had been wounded. Though they were the only ones I knew, I had little doubt that many other men had fought for the shogun and been wounded or killed. And instead of staying to support his army, he'd abandoned them to the fate and been the first to run to safety in Ito? It was awful. The shogun abandoned us? I figured he's got his reasons. Yeah, he's a pussy dick? I don't know. Politics isn't our problem. All we do is fight with honor. Yes, you're right. He nodded, his face as placid as ever, but in his eyes I could see defeat and despair. We need to begin preparing for our return to Ito, and that's why it's called Ito Blossoms! The Kyoto winds turned fierce and horrible, and we went to Ito to see the blossoming trees of love. All of the warriors seemed dejected, slumped by the heaviness of our defeat. Saito, of course, wasn't safe from this dejection. Saito? I stopped myself for a second, but decided to approach him. However, he kept his eyes fixed on his tatami mat, not even acknowledging me. Saito... I called out to him once more, and all of a sudden he snapped out of his concentration. He shot a glance toward me. Pardon me, I was lost in thought. As the commander stated earlier, our leaders have their reasons, so all we can do is abide by their word at the moment. Firstly, let us count the number of casualties. They're surely short-handed at the moment. Saito didn't seem to believe in his own words, and his tone lacked any luster or emotion. I couldn't really blame him, though. He and the other Shinsengumi captains had risked their lives to uphold the shogunate flag in battle, and then Lord Yoshinobu just gave up. To think our supreme commander could even think to abandon his men and his army. What are you still doing here? The injured are being brought out as we wait. You have medical experience. If you hurry, I'm certain you'll be of use. Go check on them. Saito seemed eager for me to leave, but I just stood there looking back at him, and instead of leaving, I asked him a question. Saito, what's going to happen to the Shinsengumi? What do you mean by that? Saito was clearly annoyed, throwing another question at me. Seeing the coldness of his response made me flinch a little. But I thought it was an important question to ask, so I did what I thought was necessary to help my anxieties. Lord Yoshinobu has abandoned us, right? So if we follow him back to Ito, what will happen then? Does his retreat mean that the shogunate has no further plans to fight against the Satsuma or Choshu troops? Well, nothing has been determined as of yet. God damn it, Tim! Perhaps he's looking to... He's looking to regroup, as there are far more soldiers at his disposal in Ito. Being concerned about such matters is futile. But, as I've stated, many of the injured are being carried out of here to board the ship. What is most needed at the moment is helping the injured and departing for Ito. If there are those who need our assistance, then we must do what we can to help them. There's no time for any other distractions. Any other distractions. Yeah, you're a distraction to me. Oh, he hates himself for loving us, but I love you for loving me. His words came at me quickly and aggressively, and it made me think something was off. Even when he seemed agitated or things were hectic, Saito always found time to speak with me or answer my questions. Today, he was completely flippant, looking as though he were trying to avoid talking to me altogether. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I know this is like the end, but if he doesn't confess his goddamn feelings for us and we have to wait for the whole other game, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be worse than like not being able to kiss Van Helsing, because it's gonna be like literally, it's not even like I really like want to be with you, and then the ends and you're like, now I gotta wait for the other game. It's gonna be like the I'm about to tell you cliffhanger. Fuck you, game. Like, don't cock block me like that. I mean, Jesus. How should I answer? Okay, so it's Saito, and I feel like, I mean, I'm still worried, but I feel like what we've learned with him is the like, if he's like, look, just, I need you to do this. Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir, and he appeals to that, so. That's good for him. He's the kind that he's like, I just need you to sit still in the corner and face the wall. Okay, I'm going to sit still in the corner and face the wall. I understand. I will help, Saito. There's so much to worry about, but now wasn't the time to stress about it. Our tasks were beginning to pile up and many people were depending on us. Then, I shouldn't be overly concerned about what could be, and just focus on the present. Yeah, I shouldn't be overly concerned about how I love you and I think you're pushing me away. Yay! That's the spirit. Now let us go. His tone seemed to perk up, even just a tad, and he bowed his head. When I looked at Saito's back, his posture seemed so broken. I stopped to call out for him. Even since I lost contact with my father, I felt so lonely and full of worry. But I thought that my worry would do me no good, so I made the decision to come to Kyoto myself to search for him. So, I may not know exactly what you're feeling, or how you're dealing with those feelings, but in the end, I think what's important is to trust those feelings and act on them. Saito stopped in his tracks, and he seemed to twitch a bit. You should trust those feelings and act on them. Trust the feelings that you love me and you want to kiss me and just fucking do it. Good one. Good one, girl. Girl! Props for that. Okay, you lose points for being kind of useless, but you gain points for that, because that's good. Soon he turned around to face me. Just a second ago, his eyes seemed dead, but it appears they've been reignited with purpose. He looked at me sternly. Oh, let's go. His words were curt, but it felt like a sense of determination had returned to Saito. As the two of us were leaving the castle, he turned around once more, sadness resting in his face. Are you all right? I asked him softly, but he gave me no answer. After a pause, he wiped the cold sweat from his brow, and he looked into my eyes. Guys, I'm such on edge. I'm so on edge waiting. Oh god, oh god, oh god. It could be like a long way down. Like we could have an hour left, and then he could, or it could end without him kissing us, or he could do it any minute. And I'm just like, come on, game. Oh my god. I'm like a fucking junkie waiting for a fix. Like, oh god, I can't. All good. Let's continue. His voice was resolute. Being out in the sun as a fury, from what I'd heard, was quite painful. If you start feeling sick, then maybe you should rest until evening. I made a timid suggestion, but Saito quietly looked back at me and muttered, Your words from earlier enlightened me. Huh? The suddenness of his statement caught me off guard, and I stared confused at him. He turned to face his feet, and his tone seemed almost self-deprecating. No matter what Lord Yoshinobu does, as his servants, we have no right to stray from our duties or question its motives. I'm not sure what caused him to waver. Saito looked at me sheepishly, as if he were embarrassed by his own doubts earlier. Seeing his reaction made me realize something. All this time, Saito worked hard to let his doubts and worries never get the best of him. But I wasn't the only person who felt these doubts. Saito this whole time was also anxious. I mean, he never showed any sign of worry when he was ordered to spy on the guard, or when he drank the water of life. In my heart, somehow, I had just assumed that he was impervious to worry, and that he always got the better of his emotions. Then he looked longingly into my eyes. Oh god, kiss me, frickin' A. Uh, the future of both the Shogunate and the Shinsengumi are plagued by uncertainties. However, all of that will be discussed in Edo. Our future begins now. Oh my god! Our future. No, ours? Like you and me? Because yes, but also, so I feel for your concerns. But for now, do not let them conquer you. For now, we must uphold our responsibilities and leave for Edo. Understood? Yes. Our future starts here. Kiss me, goddammit! Saito turned back around to make his way to the dock, but his aura had completely changed. If I had done anything to improve Saito's mood, then nothing could make me happier. I was thrilled that even just once, I was able to give back to Saito. I know that Saito and the Shinsengumi will be able to find their purpose as we return to Edo. If it fucking ends like this, I'm gonna be so pissed. But when we return to Edo, what awaits me? The whole reason I'd left Edo was for the purpose of finding my father. I mean, I'm literally gonna be like, this better be a booty call. That's all I fucking have to say. Because if it just fucking if it just ended there and it was like, the end, I would rage fucking flip everything. You cannot, I know they split this into 2 games, but fuck you. If you think I'm not getting some kind of little bit of romance, like I got full romance. I worked my ass off for that. And you're going to tell me that it means jack shit? Because I'm not going to get some makeout session. I'm not going to booty call right now. Nothing. Girl, I'm not playing. Like, later that night, I couldn't bring myself to sleep. Like, she's like all anxious, like, what is the Shinsengumi gonna do? And I'm like, is he gonna kiss us or what? It's a different kind of anxiety, but tomorrow the men of the Shinsengumi would be on their way aboard a ship to Edo. But what was to become of me? There were rumors floating about that my father was siding with the Sasuma Choshu troops, and now to top it off, he was with Kazama. I'm sure this is what Saito had reported to Hijikata when they spoke together. So technically, the Shinsengumi no longer had any obligation to look after me. I was running through all of these thoughts when I heard footsteps from outside of my room. I wonder who could be at this hour. Oh god, I know it is. Softly, I slid my door open to take a quick peek and to see whom it was. Oh, you better be here for a booty call. Yukamura, are you still awake? Saito? The sea is harsh to those who do not sleep well. It's better to rest your body as much as possible. I have a really good way for me to fall asleep, but you're going to need to come in here and take all that shit off. You can't dick me over, game! Yes, I know that, but when we return to Edo, all of you will be on standby for the next battle, right? That's right. I felt nervous speaking, especially with what I'd wanted to say next, but so am I not allowed to come along with you guys? He's like, what? Yeah, the look on his face. What? I know I'm not really of much use on the battlefield, and I can barely protect myself. Well, especially if we're up against Kazama, then I stand no chance of protecting myself. And I know that the reason you let me stay with you all was because I was looking for my father. So, yeah, there's nothing really keeping you guys responsible for me anymore. Does that make me a burden? Well, when it comes to actually fighting, I think you would be... Would be what? Why did you let Tim type this? You of all people should know. That made no sense. And she's like, that makes no sense. Because it makes no sense to me. I don't even fucking know what they were trying to say. Oh my god. His words were a lot harsher than I anticipated. And I could only hang my head. He was right. All I'd ever be was a burden if I couldn't fight. But I still insisted to be by their side. The Battle of Toba Fushimi should have told you something. War isn't the same as it used to be. Someone standing beside you today may very well become a corpse the next day. These are the kind of things you must anticipate. Even still, we who abide by the way of the sword are prepared to fight until our deaths, but you're not one of us. There's no reason for you to needlessly risk yourself in proximity to these dangers. Hearing Saito's words made me realize that, even if it hurts to say it, he puts my safety above almost anything. Saito wasn't necessarily the best person with words, but it still made my heart warm to hear it. I do have a reason, though. You saved my life, Saito, so I want to pay you back. But I did so for my own purposes. You have no reason to feel like you owe me anything. That's not a good enough excuse. Would you be satisfied hearing it from my side if I had told you the same thing? Saito turned away, refusing to look at me, as if he were dealing with a petulant child from which he could not wait to leave. Eventually, goddamn kiss me. Excuse me. Saito reached for that kodachi on my hips, and without a word, took it into his hand, sheathed. He gripped my kodachi tightly. He reaches and you're like, he's gonna reach out for my sword. Fucking A, god damn it! He's obsessed with swords. He's gay. No, I'm just kidding. Like, as I've stated earlier, if you stay with us, you never know when you could be confronted with death. Are you suggesting that you'd still want to come with us, knowing this to be the truth? If I get to look at your goddamn face, yes. Yes. Saito looked into my eyes intently, gazing toward me with a quiet seriousness, and I gave him a huge nod. Then take your kodachi. If you have the will, I hope you're truly ready for what it means to put your life on the line. Saito silently handed me back the kodachi, watching my movements as if he was still testing me. His eyes glimmered against the light, and he stared back at me while I gulped nervously. Don't forget one thing, Spacey Yukamura. The minute you take on this kodachi, I'll no longer treat you like a guest. You'll embark on a path from which there is no turning back. His eyes were stern, and they were staring at me with such intensity that I couldn't breathe. Oh my god, would you just fucking kiss me already? But I asked to stay, keeping all this in mind. She touched his hand. With this newfound resolve, I reached for my kodachi, and Saito smiled faintly. If this is as romancy as it gets, I'm literally gonna cry. Like, I've accepted your resolve. I'll no longer tell you to return to Edo. You follow us wherever we go. Okay. Although his expectations for me were huge, I felt warm from his words and I loosened up. During the 4 years in which the Shinsengumi had looked after me, I could never shake the thought of feeling like an outsider. But now, for the first time, I finally felt like I'd been accepted as one of them. I'll follow the Shinsengumi wherever you guys go, and I'll be by your side the whole time, Saito. No matter what happens in the future, I have faith in everyone, including you, Saito. I see. He kept his responses brief, but I could see the smile forming on Saito's lips. I wondered if he was even a little happy to hear that I was going to join them. I'm sure we'll be facing the Sasuma and Choshu and even Kazama when we return to Edo, but I felt like as long as I'm with Saito, I'll be all right. I had a mysterious confidence well up in my heart, and I smiled back. Seriously, we're getting cockblocked. We're so getting motherfucking cockblocked in this game. That was so fucking cockblock. That's the end. I'm so fucking mad. That is the good ending. That's the motherfucking good ending. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. So fucking mad. So fucking mad. I know that they split it into two. That should have been like, that's a normal ending to me. Normal. There's no romance. What is the fucking point? What is the point of busting my ass to get high romance to get nothing out of it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Because this is only half the game, but it's still aggravating that you get nothing. Nothing. And I get that they're not gonna like rewrite the game. Like, but it still kind of pisses me off. It still kind of pisses me off. You're like, seriously, nothing? Seriously, nothing? We spent 4 fucking years! And we got nothing! Nothing! I really hope that the song isn't copyrighted to the point where I can't leave it in the game, because then it's gonna like ruin. I'm gonna have to cut this all out and just be like, and then you're gonna miss my rant. So cock blocked. I am so. I mean, again, I know that they cut it into 2 games, Kyoto Winds and Edo Blossom, so this is really only half the game that you got. But it kind of makes me mad because you're like, it's half a fucking game. Like, you really, like, almost, like, you work that hard to get the romance up for almost fucking nothing. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I forgot. Okay, after scenes. Okay. All right, okay. Wait. We're on the boat. We're on a boat! Okay. January 1868. The Battle of Tobo Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I'm going to leave the city of Kyoto where I made fond memories with the Shinsengumi. Despite the defeat, his resolve didn't waver, and I've chosen to walk alongside him. We are going to head to Edo without knowing what fate awaits us. That's it? Seriously? Nothing else? That's it? Just like, we already knew that. Still, wow. And it's like, okay, wait, we got an after scene. Just as disappointing. Seriously fucking disappointing. Like, wow. What's scene at 9:30 p.m.? It's not 9:30 p.m. There is almost no point. Oh, okay, so this goes to the different chapters. Oh, look, yeah. I'm almost disappointed, and it just makes me like really like angry with the game that you get nothing out of it. Like, you get like pretty CGs, and you're like, okay, so I work really hard. 4 fucking years. 4 years to build up that relationship, and it's basically like, okay, you can come with us. And, but what the fuck? Ugh. Oh my god. Why are we going to... Oh, because you can go to the chapter 5s this way. Oh, you can do this. It's so much easier. It skips... Okay, that's nicer. Yeah, so you skip to his, but the problem is... Let's change name. Okay, oh, you can do that. Okay, but here's the only problem, right? So let's see something. Oh, we did get them all. Oh, no, we got... Oh, because we haven't gotten bad endings, and you never know where you might get them in other people's paths. So technically, we haven't got them. But here's my thing. Okay, so I'm going to bring up... Hold on. I'll go find the guide for a second. While I do this, because we still got time left, let's just... I like the snow bunny. I like the snow bunny one. That's adorable. Let's just hide this. Okay. Here you go. That's fucking adorable. Let's just leave that one. Hold on. Okay. So here we go. This will work. Hajime. Okay. So... Okay, good and blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, we didn't make... Well, I mean, we don't know. How do we know the fear... Do you want to... Do you want to play? That was one of the things. This tells you what to do, so I'm scrolling down. Let's see. Okay, there's an unrequited love ending and a bad ending. Oh, the bad ending is go with Kazama. Okay. But here's the thing. Load up Saito Chapter 5 with low romance. So we have to kind of almost skip through. That's the only problem with trying to do it, because we can't do the bad ending. We're not going to get the bad ending if we don't have high romance. If we have high romance like we do. So... I'm trying to think of how to do this. Because I don't want to make you go sit through everything, but there's no way to, like, set the romance. I don't think that you could do that. Well, especially because, wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. If you... Oh, no, you can't. Hold on. You just go from the very... You would have to go... We'll have to load up a save somewhere, right? Well, chapter... We were already high there. Where were we? Let's try here for a second. Let's start here for a second. Oh, my God, you can do it. Oh, wait a minute. You can set the romance. Oh, my God, you can cheat, motherfucker. Okay. Story. Romance. Oh. Proceed with the setting. Low romance. Yes! Oh, my God. Bitch, you can cheat in this game. That is amazing. You can so fucking cheat. So you could theoretically... Guys, you don't have to... The only thing that sucks about this is you could do this, right? Oh, I'm going to choose this person's chapter, right? I guess you can't, right? Hold on a second. I guess you... Can you do this? Oh, you can't. Okay, good. I was like, you could then what? Choose that I want to do, like, Hijikata's chapter and then just set my romance and be done with it and not play the rest of the game? I mean, because we're going to skip through a lot of shit. Okay, you can only do it, like, we've gone down his path. So we've already done it, and we already had high romance. Because we worked our asses off for that. So we're going to do this. Yes. Okay, so here we go. So now we're going to go through... We'll do the unrequited love ending. Because that I feel like is more depressing. The bad ending I can handle. The unrequited love I can't handle. So the requited love ending where we basically loved each other was basically like, okay, I'm taking you with me. Okay, so we're going to skip everything that we read. So this is going to take a while, but I'm just such a cockblock that the good ending. But I know it's because then we'll continue. But here's the thing. So I'm curious, when you load up Edo Blossoms, right? What? Okay, wait a minute. So we have low... Kondo's injury, what was it? Okay. So it was decided that Kondo and Okita were to be moved to Osaka, where Dr. Masumoto was. Kondo required serious surgery and treatment, while Okita needed to treat his tuberculosis. We already read that. Considering Okita's strength had diminished greatly, even I could see his disease was worsening. Okay, that's new. Of all illnesses, it had to be tuberculosis. Okay, that's kind of new. The departure of these two leaders brought solemnity and sadness to us all. Interesting. Okay, so there's a few little things different when you have low romance. That's interesting. Maybe because if I had high romance with somebody else, that would, you know what I mean? I don't know. It seems weird in his chapter that... So anyway, okay, so we're going to skip through this. You could win is the right answer for, well... The only thing I don't like is oh, I can. I can save when we make this, after we make this choice, when we get to the next choice, save and then go back and do this. We don't have to skip through this whole thing. So you could do this. I believe in you. You can beat him. Amagiri was powerful in his demon form, but Saito had never been one to fight battles he knew he couldn't win. Perhaps that was why he'd won every battle he'd ever fought. As I watched Saito's expression turn grim, and he froze in place. Saito? I was about to ask him what he was doing when... You understand, don't you? No matter how long we fight, I'll never lose the upper hand. You should be proud of yourself. It takes an exceptional swordsman to realize when he's beaten. There was a tinge of satisfaction to Amagiri's voice as he lowered his hands from their fighting stance. Who are you guys? Why are you always getting in the way of the Shinsengumi? It's funny that letting him figure that out for himself, like, I believe in you, and letting him figure out, you know what, I'm not going to be able to win, is not a good thing to do for him. You know what I mean? Anyway. So this actually went a part shorter than I thought it would be, even with the bad endings, the endings in there. Huh. Well. Okay, we're coming on the choice, and then we're going to save, because this is where we get the difference of endings. So I'm going to save here. to, like, see we get his little face. Ready? There we go! Okay! Don't look at the date. You'll be like, what the fuck? Okay, so if we stop him, we get the unrequited love ending. So we're going to stop him like we did the last time. We'll get the unrequited love, and then we'll get the bad ending, which is we're going with Kazama. I want the unrequited love one because I feel like that's going to hurt me more than the bad ending. You don't need that serum. Even without the water of life, Saito, you're very strong. Oh, look, but we got a point for that. Oh, right, we knew that. I appreciate your trust in my swordsmanship, but... Hold on, I want to see what it... You know what really sucks? I loaded it up and I said low, right? And it's saying 80%. How is 80% low? Holy fuck, guys. Oh my god. I was like, 80%'s high. I thought it would clear our romance. This is low romance? Like, motherfucker. Like, we almost was fucked. Like, in order to be the best man, in order to best the man in front of me, oh, this is the only way. Okay, so we saw this. 80% is our love meter, and he's still gonna turn us down. Yukimura, leave this all to me and return back to Osaka. But when you're here beside me, I'm unable to fight with the strength necessary. So please, go. It's true that if I were here, there's nothing I could really do to be of assistance. I understand, but please promise me one thing. You will defeat Kazama, and that you'll follow me back soon. It would be wrong for me to make a promise that I do not know that I can keep. He sent us away. That's the unrequited... I don't know. Okay. Here's the good ending. He just stares at you and nods and walks away. What? And the unrequited love ending with low romance, by the way, which is 80%, is... I can't fight while you're looking at me, so could you go away? Fuck, men are hard to read. Jesus. The fact that he wasn't exactly confident in his answer must mean Saito is predicting this battle to be one he may not walk away from. But if Saito ends up losing... Hurry up. Go. If you continue to stay here, then my attempts to buy time will have been in vain. It wasn't that I wasn't worried for him, but I can't let his sacrifice go to waste. I turn around to go through the darkened forest pathway, the shadows of the trees covering my way. Trying to buy time for the female demon to escape, eh? How imprudent of you. So you knew I was going to do so, yet you let her go. You ask why? Are you so thick-headed? I need no time at all in order to kill you off, and then catch up to my bride-to-be. I suppose I can decapitate you, and use your severed head as a wedding present to my wife? Do you truly believe I would just sit there as you attempt to cut my head off? Nope, that's where the fun in killing you comes in. Now, let's begin. Are you ready? Despite my exhaustion from running, I thrust each leg forward, one after another, against the mountain winds upon the darkened path. There were no other choices, so there was another choice when we got down the good path. These ones we don't, so that's how we knew we were on the good path the first time. Well, after looking, but... Because I would have been like, that's the unrequited love path that we were on, even though we had full romance. There's no fucking way, but... Even though I longed to be back there, beside Saito, I knew I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I took no chances to look behind me. I just ran. And out of nowhere, I heard a rustle from the bush to my right, and I stopped running in my tracks. What could it be? Well, let's go investigate. Was it one of the Susumu Choshu troops? Or could it be one of Kazama's demon cohorts? I held my breath in my chest. Someone's there! Who's there? I heard your footsteps. The voice. Oh. Oh, wait. Ahem. Oh, it was... I saw the S and the Y, and I thought it was us. Anyway. Someone's there. Who's there? I heard your footsteps. Yamazaki's alive in this path? Oh no, he got seriously hurt. Yamazaki? It's me, Yukimura. You're alive. And he's not almost dead. Yukimura, you're safe. A sense of relief felt by the presence of Yamazaki nearly made me crumble to the floor. I do not see Saito nearby. Were you not able to see him? No. We were running together and Kazama found us. Saito stayed behind so that I could escape. What? Yamazaki fell silent, and for a moment we stood quietly as he gazed into the direction I ran from. Saito and Kazama are fighting that way? Yes. Why do you ask? Yamazaki, don't tell me you're... I had a bad feeling rising hotly in my chest. If you continue down this path, you'll be able to return to Osaka Castle. Go on ahead to the Osaka Castle. We will follow suit. Who do you mean by we? Don't tell me you're going to leave and help Saito. Although I may not be the best warrior to help him, it does not mean I can just turn my back on a fellow comrade like Saito who's fighting alone. Yamazaki! Without another word, he turned his back to me, and he sprinted down the mountain path. What should I do now? What should I do now? God damn it, Tim, fuck you! Not only was Saito risking his life, but now Yamazaki as well. I think it was Tim's idea to cut this game into two. Kind of cock-blocking at every turn. I wanted to run after him to help Saito too, but I couldn't distract myself. I gritted my teeth and stayed behind. Saito had stayed behind just to give me a chance to escape from Kazama, so I needed to hurry back to Osaka Castle as soon as possible. And I must spread the word of what just happened. Although it made me almost sick to my stomach, I continued down the path to Osaka Castle. I somehow managed to make my way through the forest safely to Osaka Castle in order to meet with the captains at Osaka Castle. But at Osaka Castle, I mean, should have said it 40 times. Saito's still not back yet, huh? Maybe the guy really had his work cut out for him. This time against Kazama. You idiot! Why the hell would you say that? It's bad luck. Yo, Saito drank the water of life. There's no way that he's going to lose to Kazama. Hijikata seemed to keep an optimistic expression, but even he couldn't help but sigh at the prospect. Hijikata, the ship is almost set to sail. You need to make a call soon. I know. If he doesn't show up soon, then we can expect the worst. It's not unrequited love, it's abandonment, because we're literally leaving him behind. Hearing Hijikata say what all of us were thinking aloud made my heart feel heavy. Maybe I shouldn't have left Saito alone back there. I shouldn't have left his side. Just then the sliding door flew open. The person walking through the doorway was... Saito! You're alive! Yes. Ah, jeez, what a relief! Of course there's no way Saito be beaten so easily! Commander, I apologize for being late. Don't worry. It's good enough to see you return safely. So what happened with Kazama? Does the fact that you're here mean you've defeated him? I need to speak with you about this matter privately. May I have a moment of your time? Yep. Yep. The rest of you prepare to leave. I'll call you all when we're done speaking. Alright, see you later. I was packing my things in the room I had slept in the previous night. Just then... There you are. Saito... Before I return to Ito, I wanted to tell you something. You have a moment? This is more what I expect in the good path. Like, I just want to tell you something. I love you, but he's not going to say anything. He's going to be like, look, I know, I can't. Or he's going to be like, I love you, and we're going to be like, yeah, I don't feel the same. What, bitch? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Sure, what is it? I was nervous. I discussed this with the commander earlier, but I don't think you should be involved with this any longer. Oh, that's the unrequited love. He's like, you should stay here. Peace out. What? A black malaise had enshrouded my mind when those words came from his mouth. Each beat of my pounding heart was creaking, loose and unsure of how to process what he'd said. What do you mean? This is like a bad ending. The reason for your residence with us was our shared desire to locate Kodo. But according to Amagiri, there's a high chance that Kodo is cooperating with Kazama. If he is cooperating with the enemy, we must kill Kodo. I'm sure it would be a pain for you to be with us, knowing we would eventually have to kill him. I could see this was an obvious decision for the Shinsengumi to make. I mean, more than anything, I knew that being with the Shinsengumi kept the demons coming after me. So perhaps it would be best for me to separate from them as soon as possible. Do you have any relatives or friends that can grant you safe refuge in Edo? If no one comes to mind, I can inform the commander so that he may find someone to help you. No. I could feel my throat constricting. Breathing became difficult and my head spun. I tried to take as deep of a breath as I could, and I pretended to answer coolly back to him. You don't have to go through all that effort for me. I heard Dr. Masumoto may be returning to Ito as well, so I should be fine. My whole body was shaking. I stared at Saito's deep, dark blue eyes. His irises glowed from the lantern beside us, and he looked longingly into mine in response. He's just gonna abandon me. He closed his eyelids slowly, looking down. He kind of loves us, but he's letting us go. I see. As soon as those words spilled from his mouth, I braced myself for what I'd expected to be a painfully definitive end. I looked down before asking him a question. May I ask one more thing of you? What is it? What happened to Yamazaki after he'd gotten to where you were? For a moment, Saito hesitated to answer. A flash of remorse was slapped across his face, and he silently shook his head. Aw, I could only muster a solitary tear as he gave me his wordless response. Oh, at least in the other one he might be alive still. I knew I should have followed after him. The regrets that compiled throughout the evening were now starting to eat at me, but I had no reason to feel regretful. At this point, all I could do was leave the Shinsengumi as soon as possible, and pray that they could battle with a clear head, now that I'd no longer be there. Fucking rough, man. That's kind of like a bad ending. An unrequited love ending. That's all I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna kind of... Is there like an after thing? For that one too? Nope. Like the dead tree in the background, like, eh! You got nothing, you suck. Continue. Start here. Yep. And we'll choose chapter 5. We're going to choose the bad ending now. I'm going to go with Kazama. Okay. No! There was no way I could allow Saito to become a fury, giving up his humanity just so he could protect me. Kazama, I'll go with you. So please. Ah, interesting. So you agree to become my bride? And you'll submit yourself to me for all of eternity? That sounds just gross, but yes. If you promise to keep your promise. Fear not. A demon's word is unbreakable. Kazama was making his victorious declaration. Just then, Yukimura, do you really have so little trust in me and the rest of the Shinsengumi? It's not like that. But if you keep this up, you'll really die, Saito. No matter how slim the chance of victory may be, as long as I'm given orders to protect you, I will protect you no matter what, even if it means that I must die. Saito popped the lid off the bottle, and he gulped the contents of the bottle. Saito, no! I screamed so desperately it strained my throat. The next instant, the scars all over Saito's whole body began to regenerate. Okay. So he still does that. We said we'd go with... I thought maybe we'd go with him and then, like, whatever. Or he's gonna kill. Before he could finish his sentence, Kazama had already begun charging at Saito at light speed. He kills him, doesn't he? Even transformed, it seems as though Saito could barely keep up with the weight of Kazama's swings. Grunt. It was clear who was stronger between the two. Saito was gasping for air while Kazama had hardly looked to break a sweat. See, here's the thing, right? So when we are with him, when we love him, it makes him stronger. And then when it's like unrequited love, when he's like meh about us, he's kind of like, you know what, I need you to leave because I can't fight while you're here. And then he still beats him. Other guy dies. Now we're like, I'll go with you. And he's like, well, you don't fucking trust me? I wonder if even if we had high romance with him, if we went, I'll go with you, he'd be like, we would have just broken his heart. Eventually, Saito's sword in his left hand was hid away into the dirt more than an arm's length away. How sad. Despite possessing the water of life, this is the best attempt you could muster. Playtime's over now. Time to show my bride who she's coming home with. Then the sword in Kazama's hand was slashing straight for Saito's head. Oh god, he's gonna kill him. No! At this rate! Before I could even think about it, my body moved. Oh god, he's gonna kill me. Yukimura. Saito's shout pinged into my ear. Yet as I regathered myself, I could feel something snap inside of me. Eventually, my arms and legs felt weak all of a sudden, and I collapsed to the ground. Fucking A, Tim. What? How could a noble, Female demon risk her life for such a pathetic loser of a man. Yukamura, hang in there. Why did you cover for me? Saito's hands were cold to the touch, and I could feel them trembling upon my shoulders. Okay, so see, I'm going to be honest with you. High romance, jumps in front, dies, because I love you, and dies away. Like, I'm okay with that. That's a little less cock-blocky than the good ending with no kiss, at least. Jesus. He seemed so upset that someone he was sworn to protect had now returned the favor to him. But it's fine like this too, Saito. If I hadn't been here in the first place, then the Shinsengumi would never have been targeted by Kazama and his men. I can't be with you guys anymore, but please, for me, continue down the path that matters to you most. Man, I thought he was gonna die. Fuck! That's so beautiful! We sacrificed ourselves for him! Yeah, we turn that off now. But anyway, so... Well... Yeah. Alright, so... We're still missing some gallery things. We're missing some galleries, but we get them in other paths, so we'll get them... It's probably after... We'll get them at some point in a different thing that we didn't choose the original time around. Otherwise, I'm sure choices we make will get them. Because, you know, we have nothing with Heisuke. We have nothing with Sanosuke. We have one with Shinpachi because that counts as that one. You know what I feel bad about? Like, okay, so... Right? Watch this. No, look back. Okay, anyway. Don't look. That's okay. Right? Like, Hijikata doesn't have as many... Like, he's got one that's got 4. You know, and then this one's got 3. And, like, Okita... I mean, you're usually all banking on this average. So, technically, Hijikata does have more because he has one that has 3 and one that has 4. So, like, the 4 would have been split up in the 2, but then he's got 1, so he's got 2 extra. It's... 1 less CG, but it's got more variations, basically. But they all seem to be like this, so they all seem to have, like, roughly the same amount. You know, even Heisuke does. Right? Nagakura doesn't have as many. Which, like, okay. But they must really hate Heisuke. They must really fucking hate him because he's got, like, nothing. I mean, Yamazaki I kind of understand because he seems like a side character. He doesn't really seem like he should even have a path. Like, I just kind of don't understand it, but meh. But, like, even this guy has got more, like... And, like, I think it's really fun. There are ways, because I looked in the guide, I was like, these guys show up once and you never see them again. But I guess depending on choices you make after you meet them, you can potentially... And they made a comment about him. I swear, he only showed up. It says, for him, for Kazue, right? He was the one that showed up the once in, like, chapter, like, 3 or something. It says we meet him in chapter 1, and I'm like, when? I do not fucking remember that at all. Let me see where it is. Let me see if I can find the guide in the top of the guide. Kazue, right? He first appears in chapter 1-4. I'm pretty fucking sure. I'm assuming he first appears depending on what you choose in that chapter. So we chose something different, so we didn't meet him until later on, right? And then obviously Ryoma died in our path because if you tell him, yeah, no, I don't need your help, apparently that's the good thing for him. So we never got his warrior record. His warrior record isn't open for us technically. Like, when we're in the game, because we've technically never... But at least we can go from here, so we can pick a chapter that we want to go to and, like, start from there, and that's where it really matters. So we'll see who we get. Oh, it starts there. Okay. We'll see who we get. This is my only problem. Like, this should be, like, so... Like, this should be so much better. There should have been, like, some kind of romance, and we got nothing. I'm, like, so disappointed. I'm, like, seriously so disappointed that, like, I still love this one. That's adorable. She's like, oh, good God, you're touching my hand. Oh, that one only had one. We're missing one. I do still actually really like this one because I think he just looks really good there. But, so, yeah. We'll get them eventually in the other paths and then we'll check them all out. But, so yeah, I feel like, I mean, I like the game. I got really into it. Like, really, obviously. But I'm just really upset that it's such a cockblock at the end that you get, like, you spend all the time in high romance and you basically get, like, you can come with us. 4 fucking years? Seriously? Jesus effing Christ. This is like the slowest burn ever. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm driving behind a sloth right now. What the fuck? So, I don't know. I guess nothing good happens until Ito blossoms, and that just makes me like... So I feel now I'm gonna be like, okay, I apologize to Code Realize for making me angry about why didn't we get a Van Helsing kiss and I had to wait for a second game? And I was kind of mad about that cock block because this is a bigger motherfucking cock block. Like, this is like the, like, okay. This is the good end. Why do we have to deal with our romance being high? It's not like anything happens. And it makes me even sadder when you're like, I'll play it on low romance. And low romance is 80%. I was really fucking excited when we got 80%. I was like, yeah, we're awesome, finally. And then it was like, oh, look, we got full bloom. Okay, great. So 80% is you suck at this? Oh my God. I mean, we're going to use a guide the rest of the time, so we're good. But, like, holy shit. Anyway. So, yeah. I am going to wrap this part up here. And the next part, we will start a different route. I don't know whose route we're going to be in. Like I said, it really depends on, you know, when I start recording the next route. If you guys have already left suggestions, I might go with that, or I might just pick one of the guys that I feel like I have less of a connection to. Like, I'm drawn to. I'm not really drawn to Yamazaki. I'm really not. I kind of feel like he's a side character, and like I'm not sure why he has a path. I'm sure he seems okay. Shinpachi is like one of the characters, and I'm like, he seems interesting as a side character, but not someone I want to romance. Or Heisuke. Those are the 3 that are like, meh, to me. And I would probably go down last. So I almost want to do one of them next, just to kind of like get it out of the way. And then we do like another like path or 2 of like good guys that we like because, you know. And then at some point do the bad guy, like maybe in the middle or toward the end. Because like I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Like betraying the Shinsengumi for that guy. Like... The other guys, I think, are okay. Like, Ryoma is maybe not bad, but Chikage totally fucking is. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about betraying my boys. I don't know if I can do that right now. Or maybe I can. I don't know if I can ever do it. It's going to be devastating. It's going to be like, I feel so bad for them about this, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Because we have, what, 3 that are kind of meh. So, yes. 8. We got about 8 other paths, so we could do like 2 good ones, one that's meh, 2 good ones, one that's meh. Like, I mean, I'm saying the paths are going to be good, but I'm just saying to you guys that we're more into. So I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. Or if everybody vote, like, because I mean, you know what I mean? Like, my taste for the guys is totally different than other people's, you know. There's always people like, oh my God, this one's my favorite. And I'm like, that's my least favorite. They're my least favorite, you know? So maybe that'll work out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So if I do a different path and it's not one that you guys have suggested or whatever, it's probably because I started recording before you left suggestions, or there might not have been enough. I don't really know what's going to happen. So anyway, I will see you guys next time, and we'll see where we are. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.